you guys, let's have a rambling story time video. I'll do some coloring with my new colored pencils I got from Amazon. This is a story time about some unusual words. Not only did my one daughter come up with, she was a toddler, but it made me recall something about me in kindergarten. So I thought I'd share for those of you concerned about little ones and how they put their words together or their thoughts together. We may be worried when they're young, but it all comes out in the wash. In fact, the one daughter who had these unusual word pairings or confusions, which I thought was like dyslexia, because as a child, I know for a fact now that I had ADD and dyslexia, but 55 years ago, it wasn't even a thing. So anyways, first let me tell you about my thing I remember about me. Guys, I was so positive that this was true. I must have asked my father a billion times because the confusion was so great. I was going to kindergarten. As a child, I did not know it was kindergarten. I thought it was kitty garden, like a little kitten. I know it was school, but I think because of the cartoons I watched back in the day, I had a picture of a cat, like a black and white cute kitty cat, and so somehow I was going to kindergarten. Yeah, it was school, but it was going to be a fun school, kindergarten, and the confusion was where, and I kept asking my dad, but what about fish garden? What about fish garden? Of all things, fish garden. And he said, there is no fish garden. It's just a kindergarten. To this day, I have the image of the cartoon that I was positive there was a fish garden. There was a goldfish in a bowl, and the cat, the kitty cat that I was picturing when my dad would say I'm going to kindergarten, was there slapping the water trying to get the goldfish out of the bowl. Okay. So never did my dad say, we're going to kindergarten, we're going to kindergarten. And I never saw that. There never was a time that he say that. Did he say that? I just saw the cat. I saw the goldfish together. For some reason, my mom was not part of this. I don't know why, but part of the conversation. And I was so confused and like I felt left by the wayside, like there's a missing piece. There has to be a kindergarten. So then when I finally go, they have two kindergartens. I have, like 20 some odd kids in one kindergarten class, and then next door there were 20 some odd kids in the next kindergarten class, which I'm guessing either had to do with test scores or just they had too many students, or maybe one class came a little later. I don't know. But I was convinced one was fish garden and my dad was hiding it from me because he knew I couldn't go to both. I could only go to one. But I remember asking around, are you in Fish Garden? Are you in Fish Garden? And boy, I think the same day I started asking the question, that the kids put the kibosh on that quickly for me, because they were like confused and like making me feel embarrassed and maybe not as intelligent as they were. So I think that just happened for a day. But I remember never feeling good about an answer and always feeling there's a fish garden somewhere. I just have to find it. Okay, so that was me in kindergarten. Okay, life goes on. We get married, have kids. My 20s, early 20s, having kids. And then before they get into school, so obviously I think they're possibly, preschool or getting ready for preschool when you start talking. Not quite yet in kindergarten, I don't think. And my one daughter, who today is very intelligent, takes after her dad. She's very intellectual and less artistic. She's the one that had these word issues. But I thought, oh my goodness, she's going to be like me, which wasn't the case. So she comes up and she's adamant that she's going to wash her hair with Pan-Shu. I keep telling her, no, it's shampoo. It's shampoo. She says, no, it's Pan-Shu. Pan-Shu. So whenever it would come up, I'd say, no, you need to say Pan-Shu. I mean, you need to say shampoo. Okay. It took forever, I'm guessing, when she finally got in grammar school, and the other kids told her that she figured out really shampoo. I'll never know how she came up with Pan-Shu, other than I'm thinking she's dyslexic, right? Around the same time, the other word was telly button. Instead of pointing to her belly button, and you go, where's your hands? Where's your face? No. And she'd always, I'd say, tummy button. Where's your tummy button? So I guess when she figured out it was belly button, she came up with a combined word of belly button. Somebody must have called it a belly button. Maybe Grandma said, where's your belly button? And I always called it a tummy button. Thought that was easier for a kid to remember. And she came up with telly button. So I don't know if Teletubbies were a thing back then. This was probably like close to the late 80s. So forever she insisted it was a telly button. But again, I told her I went to school, that kind of subsided. The other one was the carping sharp. I said, no, it's a shopping cart. Every time we'd go grocery shopping, get a shopping cart, but she would race in and say, I'm getting the carping sharp, I'm getting the carping sharp. I'm thinking, what is going on with her? And she was the oldest. The other daughter, a year and a half younger than her, never had an odd word. Never. So it was easy for me to focus on the older one and think, oh my goodness. Well, if anything, I'm glad I know the hardships of having a possible learning disability in school with dyslexia, and seeing things, hearing things, or reading things backwards. At least I'll know what it's like, and I'll be able to help her. Whereas I was on my own, I had no help, understanding, or sympathy. It just was crazy. Okay, so anyways, I am thinking all this about her, right? Alright, so the only thing I can remember a little bit odd about the other daughter was, specifically one time I was giving M&Ms to both daughters. So the older one, the one with the word issue, she cups her hands like anybody would. You see the M&Ms coming. She, okay, come on, let me give you some M&Ms. So she cups both hands together. Okay. So the other one's standing there. She's waiting. I said, okay, I'll give you some M&Ms. And she puts out her hand like this. It really struck me odd because she couldn't anticipate how that wasn't going to work. If you just have your hand like that and I pour those little round M&Ms, the odds of you having a handful isn't going to happen. So I took both hands and went like that. And she kept, so that now she had both hands, but she had them wide open. So Youngkin's her mom, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, she is dyslexic too. Pulls on my cross. And I'm trying to explain it to my husband, who's the intellectual. All I can say is, I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. I kept saying, I know you think I'm wrong, because you don't know what I'm talking about. You don't understand. And so I just kept assuring myself and assuring him. I said, it's not a big deal. I just thought I'd mention it. Lucky for them, I'm noticing it right away, and I'll have helpful strategies to help them get through school. And he's, bless his heart, he's just saying, well, that's good, instead of just saying that you're a crackpot. He didn't say that. He just kind of, well, that's nice. So, bigger than beans, they grow up, get to school, and the one with the word issue, she's the brain of the family. Her and her dad are such intellects. So, that was something that just came and went with her grammar school, thank goodness. And then the other one, she tried to get the M&Ms with her open palm. She did end up being like me. But again, it really was not an issue. It was a struggle, but she didn't feel alone as I did because I could help her. I had these little strategies and techniques and these little games we played to help her remember things. It was like a whole thing. So they both did very well. Graduated from college, went off to be professionals. I was just thankful I was able to recognize the issue with my one daughter so that I could help her. I think like the moral of the story is, for any of you young parents or grandparents of young kids, and perhaps you see something a little funny, it could go both ways. It could be something that might be a little trying when school time comes. You just keep your eye open. Or like me, with the one daughter, it could be something that that we totally blow out of proportion and really never have to worry about. But I thought it'd be fun to mention that story time for like twofold. It's a fun, cute little story, like crazy story, but also might not be so crazy because there might be young parents and grandparents of young kids that's really happening with them today. So no, we get through it. Anyways, peer pressure, such a big deal. Remember, I think it was the peer pressure. Just one day of me asking the other kids about fish garden. I ended quickly, And then, as my one daughter with all the funny words got into grammar school, that kind of got fixed, so I wonder if she did the same thing. She said a word funny, and